So, Stephen, how is first of all? Wiggins hits that big shot. You guys look like you're in pretty good position. Then it kind of falls apart. How's this hitting you right now? I know it's been quick, but still.
It's an emotional roller coaster. Playing as well as we did for first 30-ish minutes, and then giving up that big lead. Wiggs hit some huge shots down the stretch. CP hit some big ones. Chet and Shea were making tough shots too, so it's kind of going back and forth. And then you think, with the NBA, it can go either way, and especially how the last 5 games have gone for us, that shot Wiggs hit would get us over the hump. As fate would have it, it wasn't enough, and it's a very, very tough way to lose for sure. But you got to, keep hold of the rope, as they say, and understand it's a long year. And we showed some signs of creating good shots on offense and trying to connect the game. Just didn't have enough.
When you look at this streak where it is now, I don't think you've really experienced anything quite like this, especially at home. I know you haven't. What's that? How's that hitting you?
Man, it's tough. You hate losing games no matter where it is, and especially at home. And this is, like you said, where you set a standard of protecting your home court. And, there are different challenges for us this year that we're going to have to overcome if we're going to be competitive in the standings, late in the season. You hate seeing what was it, 1-6, 1-5, whatever it is. You hate seeing that, but it doesn't mean we can't turn it around.
You said challenges this particular team has to overcome. What do you think are the biggest challenges?
I think we obviously know we need to shoot the ball better as a group, limit our turnovers, especially like a night like tonight where we're up 18 and you're giving a very explosive offense, easy buckets in transition, and not, again, connecting the game, taking care of possessions. On a night where you end up hitting shots, those blemishes are pretty costly. I know we've been experimenting with the rotations and lineups that can find some chemistry and develop an identity of how we're going to win games. And we've shown some bright spots early, but I think through this losing streak, we gotten a little rattled a little bit, so we got to figure that piece out. And missing Draymond is tough. I was out for 2 games. Seems like a perfect storm of everything. So we have to, again, maintain confidence in ourselves and our ability to figure it out. But it's going to take everybody.
How urgent is it starting to feel about, it is still very early, but feels like the urgency.
Losing a streak like this, there's urgency for sure. It's not like anytime you're this many in a row, it's a problem that you got to fix, and you don't want to develop a losing mentality at all at any stretch in the season. Just that's a stink in the locker room you don't really want to have in there.
Steph, is there a level of frustration for you, given that, I know you weren't responsible for what happened in that game with Draymond, but, to miss him for another, 3 games, I guess he's got to go, how much does that affect you guys as far as trying to have somebody step up and fill in for him?
Anytime you're missing anybody, that's as important as Draymond is, our core and a starter, a guy that's an anchor on defense. That's tough. It's tough when I was out for 2 games. We were both out for this last game. Especially with a team that's trying to put the pieces together. You want to get as many reps together as possible to develop an identity. So when we're missing time, it's tough for whatever reason. So it's not ideal, but I feel like we do have enough to win games, and in the meantime, we just haven't been able to do it.
Wiggins was going through it to start the season. When you see him sort of hit shots like he was tonight, does that feel like the start of some of the fix to what you guys need to do to get out of this skid? Is that where it begins?
I mean, it's a part of it. Yeah, we want him. He's been aggressive and played with great energy, especially recently, trying to get himself out of whatever funk he found himself in. And it's not really. I mean, hitting shots is great. It's just you like to see him having fun out there and him being rewarded for the energy that he's putting in the game. And that was great to see. He had obviously some big shots, and the message for him is, keep being aggressive, take shots you think you should take. He's bringing on the defensive end. He does that every game, so it's nice to see him get rewarded, and hopefully it continues.
How did your knee feel tonight?
I felt great. I mean, I all the rehab and stuff that I did, I didn't really feel it out there, and it was nice to, even though when I lost the extra 5 minutes and getting to 40 minutes and being able to get through it, all the physicality of the game and the speed of it, picked up right where I left off. Time was a little off, but that'll come back.
Is there anything you can take from your early career long ago that you can kind of summon now and sort of experience what you dealt with then and apply it to what you guys are dealing with now?
I think the biggest, it's just a mentality that you're supposed to win, and when you know how to compete, and the confidence that we've built, that we've built over the course of this run, that's still in there. Like, we have that competitive spirit that'll help a lot to, again, not let that losing mentality sink in. It doesn't mean that the X's and O's and the execution of a game plan and whatnot are gonna follow, but it sets you up for ability to be in games and get the momentum back on your side. You got to have, like an ego of like who we are as a team, and kind of dig deep into that. And in the meantime, whatever adjustments we need to make, and the way that we're approaching both sides of the floor, those details we'll continue to talk about, because this year is a different challenge than any other year.
How much of overtime was just about Shea making some really difficult shots?
That's what he does, especially when they have floor space the way they do and some of the offense they run. Like, everybody's kind of a threat out there, and it's, he takes advantage of the driving angles, and when he's making tough contested twos. Part of it is kind of shots you live with, but not that many. So that's what the league is about. Like, the scores of his caliber, winning games for a team by hitting tough shots. Just, we allowed the game to be in a position where that mattered, in terms of them getting the lead or not, instead of us maintaining that double-digit lead that we had in the third. And that's on us.